Hi everyone, myself is Praveen Rajam and I am studying in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering and my branch is Information Science and Engineering and my subject is Unix. Coming to the topic I am going to explain is job control signals and signal names and its numbers. Job control signals. Job control signals are a mechanism in Unix like operating system that allow processes to be managed and controlled. These signals are used for tasks such as stopping, resuming, terminating processes. The signals can be sent by the operating system or by other processes. What are control signals? Process control, signal delivery, system events. Job control signals enables the control of foreground and background processes. Signals can be sent to processes to pause, resume, or terminate their execution. They can also be used to change process priorities. Signal delivery. When a signal is sent to a process, the operating system handles the signal. It can either be delivered to the process directly or handled by a signal handler that the process has been registered. System events. Job control signals can also be generated due to system events. For example, the SIHAP signal is sent to a process when the terminal connection is closed. Common job control signal names. SIHAP, SIGH up, SIHAP. Hang up signal sent when the terminal connection is closed. Second, interrupt signal sent when the user presses Ctrl plus C. Second, quit signal sent when the user presses Ctrl plus. Sci-hub hang up. Terminal disconnect. Sci-hub is sent to a process when the terminal connection is closed, indicating a disconnect from the controlling terminal. Process termination. The signal can lead to the termination of process depending on how the process is configured to handle sci-hub. The signal can be cut and ignored. Graceful shutdown. Processes can be used sci-hub to perform a graceful shutdown, saving data and exiting clearly. Some programs use it to reread and configuration of files. Sci-hint interrupt. User input. Sci-hint is the commonly used to a process by the user pressing Ctrl plus C, interrupting the process and causing it to the terminate. Interrupt handler. A process can define an interrupt handler to gracefully respond to SIGINT, such as promoting the user to save data before terminating. Foreground processes. SIGINT is primarily used for interacting with foreground processes, allowing users to halt or interrupt long-running tasks. SIGWait. Similar to SIGINT, can be generated by control plus core dump, causes in a core dump saving the process memory dead state to a file for debugging. Termination usually results in process terminations. Again, we are going to discuss about SIGUP hang up. What is meant by SIGUP hang up? Terminal disconnect. SIGUP is sent to a process when the terminal connection is closed, indicating a disconnect from the controlling terminal. It means that the terminal connection is closed, indicating a disconnect from the controlling terminal. Process termination. The signal can lead to the termination of the process depending on how the process is configured to handle SIHUP. Graceful shutdown. Processes can be used SIHUP to perform a graceful shutdown, saving data and exiting cleanly. SIGINT. User input. SIGINT is commonly sent to a process by user pressing Ctrl plus C, interrupting the process and causing the terminate. Interrupt handler. A processor can define interrupt handler to graceful respond to SIGINT, such as promoting the user to save data before terminating. Foreground process. SIGINT is primarily used for interacting foreground processes, allowing users to halt or interrupt long-running tasks. SIGWait. Similar to SIGINT, can be generated by Ctrl plus C. Core dump causes a core dump saving the processor's memory state of file for debugging. Termination usually results in the process termination. SIGHIL. Illegal instruction. Error in code. SIGIL is generated when a process attempts to execute an illegal instruction. This can happen due to the corrupted code or hardware malfunctions. code corruption. The signal usually causes the process to terminate and a code dump might be generated for debugging. This can be this point to issue with program logic, hardware issues. In rare cases, cycle might be triggered by hardware problems like faulty memory or a CPU issue. It is a sign of serious error that needs to attention. Like trap, trace breakpoint or trap. Debugging. Cyclab is commonly used in debuggers to halt a program at specific pointers in the code, allowing developers to inspect variables and step through the execution. Breakpoints. Debuggers use breakpoints to pause program execution at specific points in the code, allowing developers to inspect variables and troubleshoot errors. Trace mode. Cyclab can also be used to enable tracing mode, which causes the process to generate signals after each instruction. This can be used to analyze code execution step by step. Like FP, floating point exception, arithmetic errors. Like FP is generated when a process performs an illegal floating point operation such as division by zero or an attempt to take the square root of negative number. It can also happen due to overflow and underflow program behavior. The signal typically leads to the termination of the process. However, it can also be caught by and handled to perform error recovery or to log the error for debugging purposes. Cycle cannot be caught or ignored. Force termination. Cycle is the most powerful signal and cannot be caught or ignored. It is used to force the termination of a process even if the process is in a state where it would normally ignore other signals. Last report. Cycle should be used only as a last resort when a process is unresponsive or a situation requires immediate termination. Cycle can be used. Potential risks. Using cycle without careful consideration and potential lead to data loss, as the process will be terminated immediately without having chance to save the data. Thank you.